What is it, guys? Sarah once again, and I'm coming at you guys with another content of Cookie Run Kingdom. In this video, I want to talk about the updated mid-October 2021 PVE tier list in order to help you guys choose the right cookies in order to beat the story modes and not waste your EXP star jellies. Anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed this content and find it helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the like button, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you guys don't miss out on any future Cookie Run Kingdom videos I upload on YouTube and the upcoming mid-October 2021 PvP tier list as well. Anyways, guys, with all that out of the way, let's get right into the video. Alright guys, so in this video I want to do something a little bit different. If you guys remember my previous tier lists, they are pretty long. They go to 30, even 40 minutes because of the fact that I'm explaining every single one of these cookies, and because as time goes by, the list of cookies are only going to get longer. Now we have 40 different cookies that we have in this game currently that are epic, legendary, and ancient, and I just want to go over the cookies that pretty much are worth mentioning in the tier list, and then let you guys know each of the tiers for the cookies, and I will list them from SS tier, S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, and D tier. So I'll list all of the SS tier first and explain why they're in the SS tier, S tier, and some of the cookies that are worth mentioning, A tier, you know, so on, B tier, C tier, and D tier. And that is just so that I save time as well as not bore you guys out with a very long video. But here we go, guys, with the starting with the SS tier. Those are gonna be Black Raisin Cookie, Hollyberry, Dark Choco, we got there we go, Licorice, Sea Fairy, Pure Vanilla, we got Vampire, as well as Strawberry Crepe. So those are going to be our SS tier cookies that we have for PVE mode. Alright, so this is a story mode, guys. So the reason why Black Raisin is going to be in SS tier is because of the immense AoE damage that she does provide with her skill. She is pretty much the best ambush cookie that we have when it comes to AoE damage. Yes, Sorbet is good, but if it comes to straight up AoE damage output, Black Raisin is going to be the best out there. And Hollyberry definitely going to be a great tank for you, not only providing the damage focus but also dealing a ton of damage with her skill and being the best defense oriented character right now in the game. She's definitely going to be worth the SS tier. Dark Choco is going to be on the SS tier as well because of the fact that he provides 20% defense debuff to your enemies and allowing you to destroy the enemies a lot faster with his skill activator. And this goes for the bosses as well. If you do use Dark Choco for the bosses when it comes to something like 8-30, 9-30, and so on, then you'll definitely be able to beat them relatively easily with Dark Choco's debuff. Licorice is going to be also at the SS tier, and the reason why Licorice is going to be at SS tier is because of the fact that not only does he provide 20% defense buff to your entire team, but he does summon those servants in order for them to tank for you. And Licorice is just going to be so good, especially in episode 9 where there are going to be the Choco Cone Legionnaires. Alright, so those are going to be the enemies that knock back your front line tank cookies, and with Licorice Cookie you don't need to worry about that because the servants are not going to be knocked back. And just the fact that Licorice is just such a versatile cookie, he definitely does deserve being the SS tier. Sea Fairy is going to always be an SS tier in our game because of the fact that not only is she a legendary, but she does provide a crazy amount of damage to the enemies, and it is an AoE damage as well as there is no chance for it missing unless you kill the enemies before she casts her spell. Because of the fact that she is so strong and so easy to use, as well as providing 3-second stun for your enemies, she's definitely going to be at the SS tier and going to be holding the title of the best DPS in the game. Pure Vanilla is also going to be SS tier because of the fact that not only is he an ancient class cookie, but he does provide the best healing in the game, and without him the game is going to be a lot tougher than rather than having him. So definitely Pure Vanilla is going to be SS tier. Not only does he provide a crazy amount of heal, but he does also provide that 20% shield for 3 seconds, which is going to be a great help when it comes to a lot of these higher stages. Vampire is also going to be SS tier for this tier list. The reason why I'm putting Vampire in SS tier is because of the fact that when it comes to your boss modes and when it comes to any of the mini bosses that we have, Vampire is going to be carrying you throughout the game. Yes, some of the times you can use Sorbet, you can use Black Raisin, you can use Sea Fairy, but when it comes to dealing a single hit damage, Vampire is always going to be the #1 cookie out there. And the reason why is because of the fact that Vampire has a over 1000% damage ratio when it comes to his skill, and is going to destroy bosses, guys. When it comes to any bosses like 8-30, 10-31, when it comes to something like 12-30, Vampire is always going to be the go-to, and you really cannot beat those stages without Vampire unless your cookies are super strong or Death Sisters nerf the stage. But right now I would say 12-30, which is the final stage currently, you cannot beat without Vampire. So I'll be putting Vampire at SS tier. Definitely someone that you should be investing in even though you don't use Vampire in your main team for those boss battles. Strawberry Crepe is also going to be SS tier because of the fact that not only is Strawberry Crepe an epic, Strawberry Crepe also provides that 50% damage resist buff to 2 of your lowest HP cookies. Strawberry Crepe is a great damage dealer as well with the knockback, and it's just going to be one of the best defense out there, especially if you do not have someone like Hollowberry. So that is going to be our list of SS tier, guys. Alright guys, now moving on to the S tier. This is actually going to be really short. The reason why S tier is going to be short is because they're very close to the SS tier, but they got kind of pushed down with these cookies being added into the game, and that's going to be Herb Cookie, because obviously Pure Vanilla is now the best healer, but Parfait is also going to be an S tier, as well as Tiger Lily and Sorbet. Alright, so Sorbet, where's Sorbet? Sorbet, there you go. Sorbet is going to be S tier, and the reason why these 4 are going to be S tier is because yes, they are super good and you definitely can use them, but they're not at the level of an SS tier when it comes to PVE mode or story mode, and they're not weak enough to be at an A tier. So the reason why I'm putting Herb Cookie and Parfait Cookie at both S tier is because of the fact that when it comes to PVE mode, Herb Cookie as well as Parfait, they do relatively the same amount of healing. It depends though, guys, it depends. The reason why majority of the players say Parfait is going to do more healing is because of the fact that when you do use Parfait only in the story mode and you do clear the stage relatively easily, Parfait is going to do more healing because Herb has area restriction. However, when it comes to harder stages and your cookies are going to be standing still to fight the enemies, Herb is definitely going to provide more constant heal and a lot higher heal than Parfait. So that's why I want to put both of them at S tier, and it is going to be for a good reason, guys. They are great healers, and we just got to give credit for Parfait because Parfait is not a heal class cookie. She is going to be at a support, doing about the same healing as Herb. So that's pretty much why these 2 cookies are going to be at S tier. Tiger Lily, reason why Tiger Lily is going to be S tier is because of the fact that Tiger Lily actually does really well in PvE. Not only is she going to be riding Tiger and not taking any damage, she also provides 3-second stun and knockbacks for your team. And Tiger Lily is going to be an awesome support for your team. If you do not have someone like Licorice or Strawberry Crepe, Black Raisin, you always can replace them with Tiger Lily in your team. Sorbet is going to be at S tier, and the reason why Sorbet is not going to be at SS tier and is below Black Raisin is because of the fact that Black Raisin just provides a lot more AoE damage and ability to clear the mobs a lot faster than Sorbet. Yes, Sorbet does deal some AoE damage within that straight line. However, when it comes to just straight up damage, Black Raisin is going to come out on top, and Sorbet is going to lag a little bit on the versatility, and that's why I want to say Sorbet is going to be at S tier. And really, Sorbet is a kind of mixture of a Black Raisin and a Vampire Cookie, and he does really just kind of well for both of them. Alright, so that's why I want to just say Sorbet is going to be S tier, but when it comes to overall value of the cookies, definitely Sorbet is going to be better than Black Raisin and Vampire. But this is a PvE tier list, and I want to say that these are going to be the tier for the S tier. Alright, moving on to the A tier are going to be Lilac, Espresso, Madeline, Mollasauce, Mingo, Milk, Mint Choco, Pastry, Almond, Rye, Squid Ink, Moon Rabbit, Latte, Red Velvet, Raspberry, Tails, Twizzly, and Sonic Cookie. Alright, so the reason why I'm bumping a lot of the cookies that I put at S tier for A tier is because of the fact that I believe these cookies can be great, but they're not the best. Okay, and I did put a lot of them from S tier last couple tier lists, but I think it's really fair for me to say that these cookies on top are going to be like the best S tier, and then the SS tier, and then these can, you know, vary depending on what you need. So I don't want to be putting all of them at S tier and then make you guys invest in a lot of them and then later on switch them out for these. I would say these are going to be cookies that are going to be used, but definitely can be replaced. And starting off with someone like Lilac is going to be a very good support. However, Lilac is going to be requiring the attack speed as well as the skill in order to do a lot of damage as well as the AoE damage. So Lilac is going to be at A tier. Same goes for Espresso. Espresso has been pushed down a lot, especially because of the fact that Black Raisin has been added as well as Sorbet. Espresso is not as good as he was before, and Espresso is going to stay at A tier. Madeline too is a good tank as well as does AoE damage, but is not going to come close to someone like Dark Choco as well as Hollowberry and Strawberry Crepe. Molotov is going to be a great AoE damage dealer with the burn effect. However, it's just not a super strong skill as well as damage, so I do want to put Molotov at A tier. Mango is going to be doing a lot of AoE damage with the waves. However, it's just not as good as some of these cookies out here, so I'm going to be putting Mango at A tier. Milk Cookie definitely can provide you guys a lot of ease in the early game. However, it's not going to be a great choice when it comes to tanking, especially after about 8-30 guys. Strawberry Crepe and Hollowberry Dark Choco are just going to provide more value for you rather than having a taunt that only lasts for a couple seconds and where Milk will pretty much be destroyed afterwards. Mint Choco is going to be at A tier. The reason why is because Herb and Parfait are going to be the best healers in the PvE mode, right behind Pure Vanilla. Mint Choco, just by healing wise, is going to come close to Parfait and Herb. However, it's just not going to be as much as them, so Mint Choco is going to be at A tier for PvE. Pastry is going to be a great AoE damage dealer as well as Squid Ink and Latte, Tails and Sonic, but just not going to be providing too much value, just like someone like Sea Fairy, Black Raisin, Sorbet as well as Dark Choco. So I just want to put Pastry, Squid Ink, Latte, Tails and Sonic as well as Twizzly actually for A tier, because of the fact that they do provide you good AoE damage, but they're not the best AoE damage out there, so they are going to stay at the A tier. Yes, I do like using Latte because of the utility, but I'll be putting Latte at A tier alongside Espresso. Yes, I do like using Latte in its in the PvE mode, but there are better cookies out there, so I'm just going to be keeping Latte and Espresso both at A tier. Red Velvet, Raspberry are going to be providing good, decent amount of damage as well as support for your team, especially with Raspberry providing that 40% attack debuff, except it just doesn't work too much in the story mode, as well as Red Velvet putting that 5-second stun, but it's just one single hit enemy, and when it comes to story mode, they're not the greatest. They do provide good enough tanking ability for you if you do not have someone like Hollowberry, Strawberry Crepe, Dark Choco once again, but they are going to be staying at that A tier. And Moonrabbit, the reason why Moonrabbit is staying at A tier is because of the fact that yes, Moonrabbit can provide decent amount of healing earlier on in the stages. However, when you go up in the higher level and you're not able to kill the enemies fast enough, or you're just lacking heal or good tank, Moonrabbit is just not going to be valuable for you guys, especially because you won't be getting heal if you do not kill the enemies, and Moonrabbit is just not providing too much value for you compared to someone like Hollowberry, Strawberry Crepe, and Dark Choco once again. And I am putting Almond and Rye actually at the same tier at A tier because of the fact that these two actually are going to be great for you guys when it comes to dealing with mobs. If you guys can land Rye's skill as well as Almond skill together, it's very similar to how Ryman comp or Rye Almond comp works in the PvP mode. However, in the PvE mode, it actually works as well. It actually helps you deal with a lot of mob very quickly with the combination of these two. So I do want to put them at A tier, and these are going to be cookies that are going to be used throughout the story mode. If you guys do not have any of these cookies right here, guys, they are going to be very good replacement for these SS and S tier, and you can switch them out when you do unlock them. Alright, moving on to the B tier are going to be Chili Pepper, as well as poison mushroom, purple yam, sparkling, and pomegranate. And the reason why I'm putting these cookies in B tier is going to be the fact that yes, chili pepper can provide decent amount of damage, but it's only going to get you so far in the story. As well as poison mushroom, the poison damage is just too slow for you to kill the enemies before the enemies kill you, so poison mushroom is going to be at B tier. Purple yam is going to be a decent tank, however, because of the fact that he does not provide anything except for you to knock back the enemies while spinning, it's just not going to be good compared to any of these A tier, S tier, and SS tier. Sparkling is going to do decent amount of healing, but when it comes to even comparing to mint choco, parfait, herb, sparkling is just not that great when it comes to PvE mode, and will only be used if you do not have any of these supports. When you only have custard and sparkling, that's the only time you'll be using sparkling as your healer. Pomegranate, yes, pomegranate does provide that 20% attack buff, however, it's just not going to be worth it for you guys, especially when you do have some of these A tier, S tier. Pomegranate is just going to not provide the amount of healing that mint choco as well as parfait will be providing, as well as just overall value to your team. That's why pomegranate is going to be at B tier, and these rest of these cookies are going to be at B tier. Alright, moving on to the C tier are going to be Kumio, Werewolf, and Snow Sugar. And the reason why I'm putting these three cookies at C tier are going to be because yes, they do provide you some value earlier on in these stages, but it just won't be a great value for you guys. Even compared to chili pepper, Kumio, Werewolf, as well as Snow Sugar are just not going to be doing much for you. Yes, they can help you out throughout the story in the beginning, but they will be caught up by the enemies really quickly, and I do not recommend you guys invest too much of your EXP star jellies on these cookies when you do have a chance of getting these A, S, and SS tier cookies. And to end this tier list are going to be the D tier class, and that's going to be Fig Cookie as well as Cream Puff Cookie. And the reason why I'm putting these two at D tier are going to be because of the fact that they just suck. Okay, they just don't do anything well. Cream Puff, yes, can help you, and a lot of people argue and do comment sometimes, hey, Cream Puff is a great cookie, she provides a lot of healing as well as damage for my team. Yes, in the early game, yes, if you do invest a lot into her. However, if you do compare Cream Puff to someone like Parfait, even at 5 stars and Parfait being at 1 star, Parfait is going to out heal Cream Puff. And when it comes to damage, someone like Latte and Cream Puff, Latte even at 0 stars will outperform Cream Puff at 5 stars with the same amount of toppings. Hey, that's why I want to say it's just not worth using Cream Puff in your team. As well as Fig Cookie, yes, Fig Cookie can provide the same amount of value as Cream Puff, but why would you be using Fig Cookie when you have some other cookies out there like A tier, S tier, and SS tier, even at B tier, honestly speaking, like, or even C tier. So I don't know why people are trying to use Fig Cookie for your PvE mode. Yes, you can try, but trust me, the higher you get in the story, you're just never gonna find the value that you find in Fig Cookie when it comes to beating stories like episode 3, 4, or 5. So I don't know. I'm just giving you guys the tip that I've personally found throughout playing this game, as well as experimenting with a lot of these cookies, and that's going to be the mid-October 2021 tier list for PvE mode or the story mode, guys. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you guys did, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the like button, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you guys don't miss out on any future Cooking Run Kingdom videos I upload on YouTube. If you guys do disagree with me of anything that I have put in this tier list, then let me know as well down in the comments, and make sure guys to remember this is going to be my PvE tier list as well as my opinion, so you do not need to follow it at all if you do not agree with me. Anyways guys, thanks for watching once again, and I'll see you guys next time.